Okay, it says that we're live. So we're live. Yeah, I was just jamming out to a little bit of Fleetwood Mac, the old Fleetwood Mac. Back in the days when Danny and Bob Weir were part of the band. Anyway, how are you doing on this Monday? World's changing. Yes. And I hope that you're doing well. And we just invoke favor, speak favor over all of us, nothing missing, nothing broken. And boy, isn't it nice to know, particularly if you've kept this and made it a part of you about favor everywhere. Yeah. These days, doesn't it help? How y'all doing? Hello, moderators. Hey, Kaz, how you doing, darling? Nina the Mystic will be coming on. I think it's next Friday, isn't it? David Barry, how are you doing? My good friend, David Castle, Susie Q, and Robert V, good to see you. Favor be with you as well. Hadley, how are you? Kent Cook, favor, my friend. Bernadette, how are you? So good to see you. Paul, hello. Deep thoughts here and now. Well, this is the place. So I don't know how many people are watching. Doesn't matter. We got our group here. I want to read something to you, and I want this to sink in because all of you are as much a part of what I'm about to read. So just do what you're doing. And I got this email, and I'll just read it. It says, "Dear Wayne, I want to thank you for preparing me to die without fear. All the wisdom I gained being part of the tribe. I learned a little bit of magic and what is coming next. My body is giving up on me, and I have no idea how to cure a deadly illness." She's on she knows that that point of transmutation is coming. She says, "I'm at peace, not afraid, and excited to move on." That's the attitude. I was meditating on that this morning. It was always so safe with you driving the bus. Well, that's only because the energy's highs here, dear. Now I'm going to have to drive my own car. That's all right. You only have to do it for a little bit. Would you please thank Miss Trina and the rest of the tribe for all those lovely moments I spent listening and reading in the chat room. It felt like I had a big, loving family. Grateful listener, and I'll just give the first name, Carla. Folks, when I first read that, it'll move you and move you to tears is what it does. And I have received a lot of similar type of emails. There are people who listen, they read the chat room, they don't participate, but in all seriousness, I would say that's probably the fifth type ime that I have gotten. And each one of the people that have written have been a part of this group. They have learned from this group. They have grown, and each one of them is going to, or at where we will all be eventually. And every one of them have said they don't have a fear of death. They're excited to see what else is beyond here. If you think about it in a certain way, there's a certain monotony to this existence, day after day. And, we could get into a whole lot of other stuff, but we won't. Yeah, so to Carla and to the others, it's an honor, a privilege, and hey, we'll just pick up on the other side. I was constructing as David Barry has been doing, and probably others. Um, what is the next construct for me? Where we're going to get into something today, and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time getting away from it. But there's another perspective on us Homo sapiens. So let's let me show you. We're gonna read, because I think this is a time we're coming into. It's going to get interesting. And favor is one of the things that I know exist in my life. I know that I have been favored when I came into this plane of existence. My whole life has been a constant testimony to the favor that has been shown to me by the universe. You could say the creator, source. I think it gets a little deeper than that, and we're going to see something about that. So, if you don't have this printed out on your refrigerator and on your bathroom mirror, then you're not serious about it, unless you have a eidetic memory and then quote it often. All right, so let's go with this. All these favors will come upon me and overtake me if I give voice to them each day. Favor will be with me in the city. Favor will be with me in the country. Favor will heal my body when I speak favor into my body. And by the way, don't feel down because of where your body is at. Remember, you don't get a harvest overnight. Not normally. All right. Favor will set apart my body, my animals, my children, and my ground as favored with abundance of joy. Favor will be on my food, my water, my pantry, my life force. Isn't that great? Favor upon your life force. Favor will walk with me when I come in, and favor will walk with me when I go out. And that, brothers and sisters, as they used to say, that can mean a whole lot of things. We always come into something and we're always going out to something else. Favor will cause my enemies to be at peace with me. Boy, the United States could use a little bit of this. Favor will cause my enemies to be at peace with me. I'll just repeat it again. Favor will be upon my barns and storehouses, where I keep my valuables to prosper and be in safety. Favor will be upon me in everything I undertake. Everything I set my hands to, favor shall cause it to prosper. Favor shall be upon all my material property, and shall cause it to last longer and not break. Favor shall protect me, my offspring, my possessions from calamity. Whew. Favor will lead me to good fortune in all things. Favor will cause me to be the head and not the tail. Favor will cause me to come out on top and not beneath every single time. Favor will cause me to always be above and not below. Favor will cause me to have favor with the elements. Favor will cause me to be favored with the spirit realm. Favor will cause me to be favorable to everyone I meet. They will see me with favor. Favor will seek me out. It will overtake me and abide with me. No weapon of any kind shall harm me, nor will it prosper. And as it's spoken, it will be created in my words, and what was said has been done. After seeing some of the madness going on this weekend, yeah. So quote that every day. Quote it twice a day. When you first get up and when you first, right when you're going to bed. There is something that we all have to remember. We all must stay agile in spirit, mind, and body. We're going to read today that these bodies, man, there's something going on, folks. Anyway, I'll save that. So, Robert V, yeah, I heard you talk about that on Brian's thing. That's how it's done. That's when it becomes reality. I'll just say this. As an entrepreneur, you didn't get anywhere unless you wrote your vision down. And that was called a business plan. And a business plan, well, to be frank with you, they can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to prepare. So I know a little bit about what I speak of. But the reason why a business plan is so important is that it is a map. It's a constant guidepost. You write your life plan down, you have something to compare it to. But if you simply let each day pass unto the unknown, then you don't know what will happen to you because you have no life plan. And, I know what my life plan is. I'm doing exactly what I came here to do. And the evidence is self-evident. Boy, did that get a lot of responses, I tell you. That was a good one. I would recommend In God We Trust, which one, to everybody you know, because there was some really good stuff in there. So I want to introduce you to a term. By the way, anyone want to take a guess of, not a guess, you shouldn't be guessing. You should be seeing this in your mind's eye, in that other 95% of your conscious that we call the subconscious. Yeah, think about it. So here's the word electromagnetic kinesis. That's a word that, is a strange one. So I want to pull this up so you can actually see what this word means, this kinesis. So as he says, hey, man, little David Bowie. Okay, so check this out. Well, what do you mean it's paused? It shouldn't be paused. Well, I guess it's not wanting to work, of course, but we never give up. All right. Now let's see. There we go. So kinesis is movement, motion in biology. It's an undirected movement of a cell, organism, or part in response to an external stimulus. The plural is kinesis. In zoology, it's interesting, mobility of the bones of the skull, as in some birds and reptiles. That's resonance. So kinesis is, in our case, is the definition that our thoughts project out. Now, if you saw what was taking place here in America over the weekend, you can see how quickly something that is ignited by a very few can immediately have huge repercussions. When you think every day, it's going out somewhere. And as we as a species, we're not aware of this enormous kinetic energy we're broadcasting. I mean, the Earth, and I am sure in certain light spectrums, must be brighter than the sun itself. Has to be. The sun doesn't emit, at least not that we can define, a collective conscious. Now, there can be some ideals of different take on that, but for this case, we're just going to use it that the fact that the Earth is emitting this huge beam. I mean, it's 360 degrees, baby. and it's affecting everything. It's why it affects the planets. It's not that the fact that I think so much astrology is astrology, it's because of what we are doing directly to the universe. We're not even consciously aware of it. A few are, more are becoming, but then you begin to see how if you were going to manipulate a species and begin to harvest that, you're talking something huge. So I had one of y'all's good folks, let me see, send me this book, and it is a delight. I read it within about 40 minutes, and I think we can get through most of it. This is going to give a different perspective on a lot of things. All right. Testimony. This is called the Grimoire of the Gods. In this web called world, we gave you life and birth, death and resurrection. We even gave you the choice to believe. We are the axis and the wheel of reincarnation. Homo sapiens are genetically programmed to be slaves, as you, as aliens, are the ruling body of the Homo sapien race. The ruling body of mankind changed many names through history. Excuse me. Let it be known that there exist, unknown to the Homo sapiens' eyes, the most ancient religion. The purpose of which is to reunite individuals that are from the divine alien race. Neos, religion, existed through most remote times, and it has manifested its activity secretly and openly in the world in many forms. Neos is a body of adepts that possesses the secret knowledge of the alien gods and all existing aliens. Every rite and ceremony is performed only to serve us. The eye of the pyramid is the vortex from which nothing escapes. Read between the lines, the world is an illusion. The alien race. Homo sapiens science declares that Homo sapiens belong to the Homo sapien species. A brief definition of both words homo and sapiens shall give the true identity of the Homo sapien being and the alien as well. The word homo derives from the Greek word homogeneous. That means the same as, and average. The word sapiens derives from the Latin word sapienta, that means understanding and wisdom in an ironic way. Furthermore, sap means weak and silliness. Therefore, Homo sapiens is defined as an undistinguishable humanid race species. Its members would act in the same manner and think the same self-deceiving thoughts relating to each other through a veil of deception within a limited field of consciousness response to conditioned reflexes, rather like sheep. It seems that Homo sapiens will never be anything other than what the word defines. The alien is the name used by Homo sapiens to indicate something of a different origin, deriving from the Greek word allos, which means the other, and the Latin alienus, which means belonging to another. Homo sapiens use the term widely to characterize something of another planet, another country, or even someone of a different way of thinking. Truly, aliens are indeed foreign to the common Homo sapiens I. Homo sapiens perceive the alien as the gray one, which is an idea injected by the temple deities to manipulate Homo sapiens thinking, making it a work for the alien race. Alien myths do not work against us, they work for us. Real aliens are still using this myth for their own purpose. Actually, the alien is the other being, the higher being, the one that forges all things seen and unseen through his distinction between himself and the rest of the Homo sapiens. The alien has the lust for power and knowledge that is needed to conquer the gifts of life and the lives of Homo sapiens. It is not a coincidence that he is openly and securely worshiped as a God in the process. Indeed, the term religion was thus invented. The alien species lives among us, and those with the genetic potential to join in know exactly what they have to do, even as they read these lines. Still, only the ritualistic encounter with the alien gods is the path to achieve the alien metamorphosis. Similarly, the classical myth of the abduction by the Greys and UFO sightings have served our purpose to support, enlarge, and verify the alien belief system created by our ancestors. In fact, the alien belief system is the basis of all religions. Through history, the Homo sapiens belief regarding superior extraterrestrial entities has served to empower the dream, which is the world that Homo sapiens perceive. Abductions are metaphorical masterworks of the aliens to implant memories of biological experiments to the Homo sapien hybrid to believe. How many of you ever saw the movie, Dark City? This is along that line. The alien race has chosen several Homo sapien beings to be abducted for the purpose of spreading the myth and provoking mass hysteria or creating powerful religious images, such as a Virgin Mary's conception of Jesus by the Holy Spirit. The power of history. Great power invokes great responsibility. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Looking through history, most Homo sapiens worshiped other hominid species as gods. For instance, the pharaohs themselves in ancient Egypt were worshiped as the sons of gods. Literally speaking, the word pharaoh means in Egyptian hieroglyphics, the one of the divine blood. Hence, the reason is that they were the carriers of a divine bloodline. As a result, when a Homo sapiens being feels that another Homo sapiens is superior due to divine reasoning, immediately the superior one becomes powerful. It's true. Demigods existed in ancient Greece. They were humanids that had the same characteristics of God and man. They were worshiped because of their glorious achievements known as laborers, the true kings of power, the conquerors. It is not a twist of fate that Socrates defined the demigods as daemons. In time, conquerors were worshiped as true gods among men. Alexander the Great was one of them. He was only a Homo sapiens, and due to his ability to conquer, he developed a godly attitude. His immortal spirit shall remain forever in the souls of men as the most brilliant case of supreme conquerism. Thus, conquerism is the key to unlock immortality. Through history and time, only those who complete their goals gain the true power, the power to be influential upon the minds of others. Most Homo sapiens falsely believe that they possess a charisma from birth that makes them very important and can act as a very influential factor upon their social group. This false sense of pride weakens their judgment. The divine art of the alien is conquerism. The alien knows exactly where to seek higher power. As a result, the alien wants the Homo sapiens race to support his or her power. It is not possible to gain higher power without other minds to support this power. Thus, were created the first religions of man for the purpose of the alien bloodline. As an alien, you are blessed by the gods themselves. You are what you are. Do not deny thyself. It is the purpose of the alien to make others believe and spread his supremacy. Hence, the secret of power is to conquer. By considering thyself as a conqueror, you must be responsible for your acts. The existence of responsibility in the actions of the alien is the quickest way to tell if the individual has what it takes to be a member of the Naos or not. Shadow of dream. After a long sleep, the same theories reappear. Without doubt, they return richer and with new clothes, but the foundation remains the same, and the new mask which they wear should not mislead the man of knowledge. Le serpent rogue. In ancient years, some of the alien gods were mixed with the Homo sapiens race, and thus there were many children of this kind that developed supernatural powers. One such supernatural power is the psychic ability, like clairvoyance, or using the so-called third eye. This gift was lost slowly in time due to disrespect towards the alien gods. The fact that the alien gods will not transform the Homo sapiens to a higher being was considered by many researchers through the centuries, and the answer is rather simple. All those who keep saying that humans are going to ascend, think about this. You cannot transform a rock to a tree. The genetic material of Homo sapiens is incapable to be changed to something that is alien to it. Only those who have already the same genetic potentiality of the divine race can achieve the alien metamorphosis. Those who came from the skies have cursed the Homo sapiens race with a disease that is similar to blindness. The Homo sapiens being is incapable to perceive reality. The definition of reality springs from the essence of the individual's perception. The Homo sapiens hybrid uses the five senses to perceive only the 20% of the known world. Think about that. Our five physical senses only allows us to see 20% of what would be really the real world. Hence, it is impossible for the Homo sapiens being to define reality. In fact, there are plenty of realities. One could say, this is a beautiful house. Another, this is a bunch of stones. As reality arrives from objectivity, every single individual has a unique idea of reality. Therefore, if Homo sapiens race is consistent. It consisted of, in this case, this 6 billion. Well, we know now they're saying the number is 7.5 billion. Think about this. 7.5 billion Homo sapien beings. We can have 7.5 billion different expressed realities, truths. Folks, I mean, we have got to be, like I say, in the universe. I'm sure that the cameras pointed at us. Wow. I don't think it's the same picture we're thinking. Nevertheless, it is commonly said that reality is mostly based upon the most basic sense, vision. The most common definition of reality is what the eye sees. However, the Homo sapiens eye does not have the vision of a microscopic device. As the Homo sapiens beings are watching an item, they are not seeing the molecules that the item is consisted of, but they are sure about the item's identity. The same theory is applied to the other 4 basic senses. One of the biggest dilemmas of the definition of reality is dreaming. Homo sapiens perceive dreams as tricks of the unconscious, unfulfilled wishes, false memories, and in general as something fake. However, when the Homo sapiens being is in a dream state, he perceives the dream as a real situation until the awakening arrives. But there are numerous cases that the individual awakens in the dream and then wakes up in another dream. The Homo sapiens being is unable to understand that its life may be a dream with plenty of the so-called awakenings. There is no key to discriminate reality from dreams. Realities arises from experience. If you experience situations, you know that they are real. In the dream world, you have your experiences, and thus this is a reality too. The alien perceives the reality in dreaming as the same. Aliens and Homo sapien beings are living under the shadow of the dream of those who came from the skies. The alien gods are dreaming of what we experience as real life. The task of the alien is to perform the actual awakening of his ancestors, the alien gods. Reprogramming. Camellia, you, sir, should unmask. Stranger, indeed. Cassandra, Cassandra, indeed it's time we have laid aside our disguises, but you. The stranger says, I wear no mask. Camellia, now terrified, turns and says, no mask, no mask. Robert Chambers, The King in Yellow. You are influenced by external elements. Your whole life is based upon a specific schedule. The alien gods have constructed outer factors to make the Homo sapiens being think less and serve more. Have you ever considered in how many square meters you live in? Homo sapiens are incapable to escape from their jobs, bills, and personal problems. The Homo sapiens being is a prisoner of his life. The alien is the conqueror of life. The alien knows exactly how to manipulate the life of Homo sapien beings and his life as well. From the early ages, the alien knew that he is different from the other species, the Homo sapiens race. The feeling of dissimilarity got stronger as the alien lived and grew more and more in the Homo sapiens world. The alien's ancient genetic material enforced the will to re-identify from the Homo sapiens identity. You are what you are. You are not what you have to be. Disregard what you have been taught so far. Every single thing that you have learned from any external factor is the Homo sapiens way of thinking and living, guided by the alien gods. You are not supposed to have a lifespan of 70, 80 years. This model of aging serves the plan to recycle the Homo sapiens race. Folks, we have been shit on. That's all I got to tell you. Remember that the great alien pharaoh lived more than 300 years in his earthly existence. Besides, scientists have discovered that the Homo sapiens body is constructed to last more than 150 years. But there are always external factors that make life last less. Bad habits such as smoking, drinking alcohol, and anti-hygiene are not the only reasons for dying at the age of 80. The most significant reason for this is the psychology and way of thinking of the mortal. The Homo sapiens being is taught that the lifespan of an average Homo sapiens is around 70 to 80 years. This is one answer for the question of aging, meaning that the Homo sapiens being is forced to think and act according to what he has learned from external factors. In plain speech, everybody else is doing it, so should you. Imagine, for instance, that an individual is raised with the idea that he will die at the age of 180, and he is not influenced by any other external elements like the death of others. This hybrid will manipulate his lifespan psychosynthesis and will live longer as he was made to live. The same basic concept of re-identification goes with any idea or principle that has been taught by others or been experienced by the individual's standards. The Homo deus species has the reprogramming procedure in its genes. From the early years of his life, the alien has understood that he must re-identify himself away from the Homo sapiens standards. The alien knows that he is different. For the alien, it is natural to manipulate his inner cosmos according to his will. That is what differentiates him from the Homo sapiens race. Hence, the alien avoids the outer elements that manipulate his essence of existence and evolves through the personal metamorphosis guided by those who came from the sky. Create your own experience and act one step further to accomplish the reprogramming process. With personal effort and with the assistance of the alien gods, the alien is flawless conqueror of life and death. Behold, the sangreal of the alien immortal bloodline. Amazing how things are synchronicity. One step further. All the important decisions need to be considered twice or more in life. This is because one has the experience of failure and does not want to hurry up and make the wrong choice. How many times have you said, if only I had a second chance? In general, life is a mechanism that is working both positively and negatively. This is the balance of nature called equilibrium. This is an established law of initiation. The alien seeks perfection, not failure in every case. Perfection springs from wisdom and experience. The alien has a rule in his life that says, in every situation, my life, I shall consider my actions one step further. Tell me, how many of you have had that? Particularly in the last, let's say, I can say for myself, in the last decade, It became stronger. Think, Steiger. Think before you say this. Think before you write. You know, it's there. This means in each and every moment of life, one step further should be practiced in every situation, even in the simplest ones. This can save the alien from undesirable results and can improve the quality of his life. Even before drinking water, the alien should imagine and know its taste. Just stop here in a minute and just close your eyes and just imagine I've just given you some of the coldest, purest spring water. Can you taste it? Yeah. The speech of the alien must be practiced to be direct and beyond criticism. The alien thinks one step further before speaking. This is one of the best ways of manipulating situations through influencing individuals. The alien will improve these skills by studying the people that he is associated with. The alien has a schedule or plan for everything, especially for the important factors of his life. From experience and failure only can one achieve perfection. Alien DNA. True power lies in the DNA. There, the essence rests and waits to be transformed into higher energy, through an actual use. However, Homo sapiens are too idle and unimaginative to make use of it. Many of our kind have also sunk into this void of uselessness. That's what's happened to us. All these black mirrors we call smartphones. You see, I believe this is why, folks, and I'm just going to inject this in here. I've already read this, and it's a good book. It's a good, comfortable read. We've known something has been wrong genetically. We know something insidious is taking over our species. The dominance now of what the net has done, and I have many videos on this, as y'all know. This is what I'm talking about. To comprehend the alien's DNA, one must study closely the matter of inheritance. Many of the so-called royal families around the world have claimed that they possess advanced forms of DNA in their bodies and request to be treated like true kings and queens. Still, there is a big distinction. There are two types of bodies, the physical and the astral body. To make it clear, the astral body is in the Homo sapiens body like the driver in a car. Thus, it is a matter of quality of the one who drives the car. Therefore, it doesn't matter if the car or the vessel has the highest quality. The Homo sapiens body is genetically programmed to perish no matter the quality of physical body. The alien is an astral entity that has conquered the vessel, which is the Homo sapiens body, and is the astral body with the divine genetic material. By mapping out the astral body through physical, we see that sometimes it appears in the DNA and RNA. DNA and RNA are the bridge between consciousness and matter. Essence is the gateway to influence matter by enabling the alien, under the right circumstances, to consciously enter the atoms of the physical. Wow. We've talked about this. Trina and I have talked about it. Probably talk about this tomorrow. Proved by science, there is a trace memory in each cell. Everything in the universe leaves a trace on encryption that can be decoded. Hence, this is the genetic potentiality of the alien. His DNA reminds him the past of his ancestors and the superiority that consumes the Homo Deus species. It is not a twist of fate that the alien bloodline is attracted to the temple. To separate Homo sapiens from aliens, there is only one path. The reality of the contact between the alien gods and their descendants, the aliens. The alien gods will not make contact with the profane Homo sapiens. Those who came from the skies are attracted to those of the same genotype. There is an element in the DNA of the alien gods that was called the ichor in ancient Greece. Through the presence of ichor, the individual that performs the encounter ritual can feel this godly power. I'm going to go on and read this, so I may go over, so I just want to let you know. It's good that we get this in one dose. Throughout history, many aliens felt affection for their physical bodies and searched for the elixir that can transform the mortal body to an immortal one. Therefore, the alien has an egocentric being, has found several ways to achieve immortality. Without darkness, there is no light. Isn't it odd, folks? And we talked on Friday. In the beginning was darkness. Assistance is acceptable, especially from your own blood. As an alien, you are a descendant from a divine lineage that was kept as a secret for thousands of years. Many were those who tried to convince themselves to be one of our kind, still with great failure. Those who came from the skies mixed with the Homo sapiens breed, and thus the aliens were created. Several religions were founded at that moment, with aliens as the only representatives of the alien gods. Many of the alien gods felt sorrow for the Homo sapiens race and attempted to elevate them. Those defectors sympathized with the Homo sapiens being and betrayed their secrets. This was the time that the wars between men and gods began. The alien gods were infuriated with the defectors and left planet Earth, leaving a loyal aliens to rule the abandoned planet. The conquerors have always been in communication with the ancient alien gods. There are several alien gods that used this planet as a residence. Some of them did not care about the aliens, considering them impure. Where did I read this before? Judaism, Old Testament, Quran. Yeah, anyway, I digress. Others had great sympathy and respect towards the conqueror aliens. Enki, Enlil. Those are the alien gods that the temple is affiliated with. Without their existence, the alien would be powerless, would be a powerless being, as the essence of power springs from them according to their will. Without the presence of the alien gods, the genetic material of the alien cannot be activated. They are the source power of our kind. This can be done only by encountering with them. And thus, this is the only way to achieve the complete metamorphosis. With personal effort and by conquering the essence of the Homo sapiens, the alien is capable to avoid mortality. This is another path to reach higher existence. You are an apprentice until you avoid the second death. I had that download on the second death. Receive the alien gods as your mentors and teachers because you are of the same blood. With their guidance, you shall transform to a higher being. Be loyal to your ancestors, and therefore you will fulfill your purpose of your kind. We shall become the rulers of earth once again. The alien gods will be awakened, and the seal of the dream will be broken. Behold, the secret teaching of the alien gods. The teachings tell us that we can either continue living in this deluded, dreamy state day and night, or wake up to the truth. When we engage in sleep, we become part of a long lineage. By remembering the aliens who have dedicated their lives to the teachings, the knowledge of their practice will be passed to us and will generate faith and gratitude for our tradition. See how it's so important in that word faith? Folks, we're being guided in this channel. I mean, that's all I got to tell you. The teachings were traditionally maintained as a secret, both as a sign of respect and as a protection against delusion of misunderstanding of the unprepared practitioners. They were never taught publicly nor given lightly, but were reserved for individuals who were prepared to receive them. This is an important point that should not be forgotten. The life of the alien is precious. Aliens have intact bodies and minds with great potential. Aliens may have teachers and receive teachings and have lives in which they enjoy the freedom to follow the divine path. The teachings are not ideas to be collected, but a path to be followed. Essence of life. It is called by Hindu prana, by Chinese qi, and in ancient Egypt ka. The definition was spread to all civilizations by the family, but without the proper knowledge to unlock its true meanings. We simply call it the essence. However, we can also use the names that were used by our ancestors. It is the eternal element of life, the actual essence of life, the one that governs everything, every living thing. Its absence makes every living organism unable to exist. There is a brief analysis for this vital force with the indication of sleeping. Please pay attention to this part. This is really something here. The average time of sleeping for a Homo sapiens being is approximately 8 hours. There is no evidence why Homo sapiens sleep so much. The average hour of sleeping is analogous to the energy that's been consumed by the individual. Moreover, predatory animals are those who sleep most. This is because of the energy that is spent for hunting. Thus, for Homo sapiens beings, there is no rational explanation of the 8 hours of sleep, since nowadays there is no predatory behavior. Reread the above line and think about it for a minute. Aliens should synthesize a better sleep program as to not waste anything between energy sleep circuits. Modern science discovered that there is a specific form of energy that is precious to life. During sleep, the human body restores an amount of energy that is vital for the continuation of life. You can die for lack of sleep. This is important, folks. This vital energy is first taken by the plants from the sun. This is absorbed from the animals, and then it's taken in a better quality from the Homo sapiens. However, the essence of human beings is conquered from another species superior to the Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens surrendered their essence to their superiors, just like a flower to a vegetarian animal. This energy gap is also expressed in the Cripps cycle. The essence is the universal energy, which exists in all types of life, from the amoeba to the Homo sapiens species. The world is an ocean of essence, and everything is under the ocean. The essence is a primary substance, and it can be slipped into every living thing. It is called the web of dreams. It connects everything in the form of a web plexus. Once you have conquered the essence of a Homo sapiens being, you are connected forever. However, the best source of the essence of life is the Homo sapiens faith. Faith is based on believing. Believing is based on trustworthy thinking. Thus, this world is filled with thoughts that become beliefs and finally blind faith. The basic ingredient for this structure is the presence of certain stimulus. Thoughts or electromagnetic kinesis is the brain do seem to take on a life of their own. Remember how your toys as a child seemed to become real beings? Your love gave them consciousness. Ritual objects can do this a lot, so cleanse and rededicate them regularly. Likewise, together with thoughts, emotions produce electromagnetic energy, the essence of life. One such known emotion is fear. When fear, when a fear based on an entity has been created, like all sentient beings, it will act with self-preservation and attempt to propagate, feel, and breed. In this way, Homo sapiens have created uncounted billions of diverse beings. These beings range from the not very aware, stray thought forms left over from another lifetime to very powerful old gods. And the archetypes, like the Greek or Egyptian pantheons, that have been fed and shaped by centuries of worship and love. The difference is that the alien gods are real because they are not shaped by the essence of the Homo sapiens. They exist whether you want to or not. Everything is based on faith. Faith is like a muscle. It gets stronger with exercise. Thus, Homo sapien beings need to exercise their faith for the service of all the religions worldwide. Behind the curtains of this powerful game of energies, the alien gods are enjoying their conquering abilities upon this planet. Their descendants, the aliens, possess the mystical ability of conquerism. Hence, every time a Homo sapien being prays, his essence goes to the alien race. The conqueror. A table of excellence hangeth over every people. Lo, it is the table of their triumphs. Lo, it is the voice of their will to power. The feeling of triumph or the feeling of loss is centered in the solar plexus, in the belly, in the middle, just below the ribs. Think of a time when a Homo sapiens praised you or gave you a really nice compliment. Think of a time when you felt very successful. Think of a time when you felt failure. Now remember it. Y'all know what that is. When Homo sapien beings are nervous, they say the phrase butterflies in the stomach. But the location of the butterfly feeling is not usually the physical stomach, which is on the left side of the body, but rather in the belly, just under the bottom of the ribs. Feelings of guilt, foreboding of future bad events, worry, and insecurity are all felt in the solar plexus. Feelings of being abused, victimized, persecuted, or any other kind of disrespected boundaries are felt in the belly, in the solar plexus. The solar plexus channel is where your personal boundaries as an individual are felt. It is the channel of hierarchy games, winners and losers, abusers and victims. The choice is yours. The essence feedback is immediate. through time, and you can get used to it for navigation. Just think of doing something nasty to someone and feel the solar plexus responding in advance to the flow of energy such an act would bring to you. The solar plexus is filled with the energy of gratitude, which is a powerful kind of surrender. Gratitude is the opposite of fear and resistance. Remember, your gratitude received by your Homo sapiens believers and feel your essence channel with the appropriate breathing techniques. Feed your energy depot by breathing deep, slow belly breaths that go right into the earth and make you more firmly centered in yourself. Most Homo sapiens do not breathe properly as their breath is shallow, making only the top of the chest move. The most resourceful Avlido are the bottom of the lungs and chest, and the shallow chest breathing means the air in the bottom of the lungs gets stale. Chest breathing means not getting enough oxygen and essence. Moreover, insecurity and panic attacks are caused by a blocked or non-functioning power channel. Someone who is having a panic attack usually cannot take a full, deep breath. It feels like there is a tight band, like a corset around the bottom of the ribs. This is tension of a closed solar plexus. Projecting need is a power game. You see it in the advertising all the time. Advertisers seek to create need and even insecurity, because if you don't have what they're selling and that somebody else needs, you have power over them. The essence responds to free will. On body level, the solar plexus channel is all about the movement of essence between people. The unconscious control games people use to try taking each other's energies were well described by the Christians, wanting everyone to be a Christian, to be a Botswanas, vow of wanting all mankind to be saved. Folks, when you hear that crazy nonsense, run. Anyway, this is how you overcome it. You see, anyway, we'll talk later on that. The more you stay focused inward in keeping your own personal energy levels clear and flowing, the less you are pulled into the control games. The compassion is valuable, but even more valuable is to recognize that most acts of compassion are really nothing more than self-serving and, simply said, egotistical, looking for the hidden motives behind the appearance of helping, and selfishness is an important key to really learn your own secret powers of conquerism. Hence, mindfulness is paying attention to your thoughts and being skittish about the ones you feed. Anything that you give enough attention to can potentially wake up and become self-aware. I won't be able to get this done. We're going to definitely do this, probably be on Thursday, but we'll stop right here. This just blows me away. I mean, I want to spend a few minutes. Folks, this is, like I said, I was out. I mean, I read this thing like this because it just sucked me in. What book is this from? It's the Gilmore of the Gods. I got it. If you want it, email me and I'll send it to you. It's a phenomenal book. And we're going to actually get into the invocation. It's really weird when you start doing this. I mean, there is a tangible change in the atmosphere when you start doing these invocations. I mean, I'm reading this and I'm reading it out loud, and I had to stop myself and I said, whoa. Thank you, David Barry. Expect an email. And it gets better, everyone. It gets so freaking better. I mean, regardless if this is true or not, we got to remain open-minded enough to say, all right, Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe there are golden nuggets throughout there. You know, most gold is not found by the nuggets, but it's found by the small grains. Think about that. And in order to get the small grains, you have to go through a ton of freaking material in order to get the grains of gold. Thank you, Truth and Me. You're all of y'all are so sweet. But anyway, I really went over. But this is a freaking good book. I mean, it grabbed my attention, and I hope it does yours as well. Thank you, Julianne Payne. Gonna get you on here. Lost in Space. Thank you, Burning Ego. Elaine, good to see you. Darth, hello. Brian, good to see you. Cheers and favor to you as well, my friend. And Drama Media, hello. Kaz Hawk, much love. David Castle, Twisted Isby, and all the rest of you. This is phenomenal. And let me just leave us with this thought. So we've seen the world call upon their gods, and we've seen nothing. Crickets. If a power was really a power, and you focused 1 billion prayers and you get nothing back, talking by a species. Yeah. Thank y'all. Think about it. Yeah, that's probably why the book was so relaxing. Exactly. All right, folks. Much peace tomorrow. Miss Trina and I, a second look. We'll probably pick up right on this. I mean, there is, well, you know what? Okay, I'll just say again, here I'm going over, but you know what? Little chat time anyway. As I'm reading this, the synchronicities are piling up. Everything that we've been studying this year, everything, you're seeing it consistently roll in. And it tells me that I think that the ancients are aware of us, and I believe they've looked upon us with favor, and I believe they're going to grant the request. So that's just me. Hey, Bernadette, thank you. All right, everyone. Until tomorrow, if not sooner, right? All right. Peace, everyone. Bye-bye.